God. Ask God.
Hi, Scott. This is Rachel from New York City. First, I want to thank you so much for all your amazing free information, your podcasts, your webinars. They're so amazing and awesome. Well, I am actually in a category that doesn't allow pay-per-click, doesn't allow advertising. So I was wondering if you would be able to dedicate a podcast or at least shout out some resources for folks like me as to how to optimize our Amazon seller account and listings, et cetera, to deal with the fact that we cannot utilize the pay-per-click strategy. And also, I know that there are new keyword, breakdowns to the keywords, the broad, the phrases, and exact match. And I wonder, given also the fact that I'm in a category that you can't use the pay-per-click, in terms of the keywords that we put in our product listing, how that affects those keywords, and should we modify our keywords in our product listing? I hope this makes sense. Thank you so much, and look forward to hearing your response.
Hey, Rachel from New York City. Thank you so much for the question. And it's a great question. And we probably should do a whole episode on this because this is a different strategy altogether. And I'm going to just give you what's kind of coming top of mind right now without me really kind of doing a whole brain dump type strategy where I'm actually going to go through and think of all of these different ways that you should be and could be driving traffic to your listing, because that's really what you're going to have to do now. You're having a listing that's not being able to use the Amazon pay-per-click. And for those of you that are brand new, there are some categories that you're not allowed to use pay-per-click. And jewelry is one of them. I know that for certain. But you may be in a category that Amazon pay-per-click is not allowed. And if you want to know what categories are not allowed, probably just do a Google search. I'll try to get this info too and put a link into the show notes. But go ahead, just do a Google search on Amazon pay-per-click categories, and then you'll probably go ahead and get that, so you can check that out. But I'll try to put a list in the show notes here, so you'll probably want to check them out. But my thoughts are this. Number one, yes, we have to fully optimize our listing, fully. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure that the title has all of our keywords that we want to rank for. We also want to have keywords in our back end of the listing. And I see this happen a lot with people when they want to optimize for certain keywords. They'll put their keyword in the title and they'll put that same keyword in the back end of the listing. That right there is a no-no. You don't want to do that. There's no reason to do that. If that is put in your title, it can be found. If it's put in the back end, it can be found. Okay. So there's a little bit of, debate on if your bullets have anything to do with your ranking or your description. I don't know for certain, but I would like to put keywords in there. But your main ones that you want to rank for, forget about Amazon pay-per-click right now. Okay. Because you can't use it, right? And anyone anyway that's just listening to this, even if you're not using pay-per-click or if you're going to use it, you still want to optimize your listing to start ranking organically, okay? And this is going to be your best chance. Now, with that all being said, if you don't get sales through keywords, you don't rank for keywords. That's how it works. If someone searches for garlic press, or let's say stainless steel garlic press, and they find your listing, they click on it, they're convinced that they want to buy your product. They buy it. Amazon acknowledges that and will start to rank you for that keyword. Now, not just from one sale. Usually it's going to be from multiple sales. So how would you make this happen? Well, there's a couple different things that you can do. First off, we all know about running a promotion. And in that promotion, you can put a keyword inside of your link of your URL. Currently, that's still kind of working. So that would be my first thing, is I would probably want to create a URL that had my keyword in it. And I would want to do that. Or I would maybe even want to send it out to, let's say, Thomason.com. And if for those of you that don't know, Thomason.com is a platform where it connects bloggers with sellers like us that want to review products on their blog, and they'll also review it on Amazon. And you can even say in there, in order to review the product, I want to give you a code to purchase it on Amazon, but I also want you to search for this keyword, and then I want you to find my listing, and then I want you to click on it. So it's kind of a way for you to do it organically in a sense, to where you're not putting it in the URL. It's kind of like you're looking over their shoulder saying, click here, click there and click on that kind of thing. So that's another way that you can do it, using a service like thomason.com. So you can start getting reviews and stuff as well. And then the sales from those will also help to start ranking you. Now, it's going to depend on how competitive your listing is, because if your listing is not that competitive, and let's say that people that are ranking on first page are getting 5 sales a day, well, number one, the demand isn't that much, but you might have a higher priced item. If that's the case, you really only have to get 5 or more sales through that keyword to start ranking for that. Okay, technically that's the theory. And if you do that over and over again, a few days, 4, 5, 6 days, you'll probably start ranking on page 1. Okay. At least right now, that's kind of still how it works. So that's kind of a way to force that to happen. Now, the other thing that you're going to probably want to start considering is outside traffic. And I usually do not really recommend this, because I like people to focus on internal traffic and also pay-per-click. You don't have pay-per-click, so we got to think outside the box. So one strategy would be taking Facebook ads, and then from there, pointing people to your listing and having them buy through there, okay? A better way probably would be to build an email list off of Facebook, okay? Give them a coupon code where they can they can buy your product at a discount. And then from there, you build an email list at the same time. So now when you want to do another promotion, you can run that out to that same list, or you can follow up with them. You can ask, if there's anything that they wanted to see differently in the product. You can start getting research, from surveys and all of that stuff from having a list. You guys all know that I'm a huge fan of building an email list, but in this case, it's more critical because you don't have any way to drive traffic to your listing unless it's outside traffic, whether it's Google, whether it's Bing, whether it's Facebook. But I think Facebook is a great way to start building a list, especially if you go after that market. Now, I do a live workshop. You guys probably already know that. And on that workshop, I show you the 2 options that I use for building a list. And one of them is using Facebook fan pages. The other one is using Facebook ads. And what I just kind of described is that whole strategy where you create a page where people would go once they click on your ad, and the ad would be really focusing on people that are in certain groups or certain fan pages, not groups. You can't advertise to a Facebook group. You can advertise to a fan page though. So if you find a fan page that has 15 or 20,000 fans on a page that's related to your product, well, then you can target that fan page and then start building an email list from people wanting to purchase your product at a discount. You can even just do a 50% off sale. It doesn't have to be a full out, dollar, $1 price point or something. You can actually do it for 50% off. I've done that and it works. So you got to think a little bit outside the box. Again, I could probably come up with more, but right now that's really what I'd be focusing on, because I think those are going to give you the best results, because you do have to drive sales. And yes, you want to be able to do it internally, but you need to drive sales through keywords inside of Amazon. And you also need to just basically get sales. Sales is really going to start allowing you to start showing up in search. And the other thing is the reviews. So if you're not going after reviews, you really need to do that as well, because if you get 100 people to go to your listing, let's just say you get 100 people, and let's say that you're converting at 3%, that's only 3 sales. But what if you have more reviews, your product converts better because you have more reviews, it's trusted more, and let's say you make that a 10% conversion. Well, now you get 10 sales for every 100 visitors. So again, thinking outside the box here is what you're going to have to probably do. And again, once you start getting that organic traffic through being able to rank, that's going to start taking on a life of its own. But remember this too, everyone in your category is facing the same dilemma. So now it's up to you to have your own traffic channel. And the way to do that is to build your own email list. So when you want to do a little bit of a bump and you've got 500 or 1,000 people on an email list that are interested in your product, you can send out an email to them and instantly, did you hear that click? Instantly have traffic. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.